Hi there, my name is Sophia Brito and I am WT AmeriCorps' Program and Communications Coordinator. Today we'll be going over Program 101, which will tell you a little bit more about WT AmeriCorps. Today's training has 4 learning objectives. Understand the mission of WT AmeriCorps and how you and your service are part of something bigger. Learn about critical issues in the Texas Panhandle and how WT AmeriCorps fits in. Learn about our specific strategies and roles in addressing the Panhandle's needs, and understand your role and expectations as a WT AmeriCorps member. Starting with a program overview and history. This Venn diagram is meant to show you that your service is much bigger than one. AmeriCorps, the agency's mission, is to improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement through service and volunteering. This mission is implemented throughout AmeriCorps programs across the nation, including WT AmeriCorps' program. Although it may feel like you're only serving at your service site, WT AmeriCorps members are all contributing to a bigger cause of national service. You're improving things at your service site, yes, but you're also improving your community, the region, the state, and the nation as a whole. This is a program breakdown of how WT AmeriCorps is part of something bigger. AmeriCorps, the agency, is a federal program that provides funding to state service commissions. Texas's State Service Commission is called One Star. Funds from One Star are distributed to the Office of Academic and Regional Collaboration and West Texas A&M University, as well as many other organizations across Texas. WT AmeriCorps is sponsored by West Texas A&M University, and we are housed through the university as well. That's why members have to go through WT's hiring process and are paid by the university. Our program has partners across the Texas Panhandle, though, not just in Canyon and Amarillo. Both our partner sites, site supervisors, and members all report to WT AmeriCorps to provide data, improvements that our program has contributed to, and performance measures that give us a pulse check on how the region is doing. As you can see, both members, partners, and WT AmeriCorps are a part of something much bigger than what's happening locally. At times, it may feel like your service is far removed from national impact. But again, your service and what WT AmeriCorps does is contributing to AmeriCorps, the agency's mission. Once again, that's to improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement through service and volunteering. Our program and your service helps that mission reach our homes here in the Texas Panhandle. Here's why we do it. We know the Texas Panhandle faces multifaceted challenges that can strain resources and restrict growth. West Texas A&M University, the Office of Academic and Regional Collaboration, and our program are committed to being active regional partners. We want to work together across multiple sectors and communities to address these challenges, create opportunity, and increase engagement and investment in the Texas Panhandle. WT AmeriCorps' mission is to augment existing systems and help build a more resilient environment through opportunity, engagement, and investment where all people can thrive in sustainable careers and communities. Our main goals are to improve, increase, and support efforts and initiatives within our communities, as well as awareness of resources in our region. A bit more about our program history. We started in October 2020. Our first cohort began as primarily focusing on educational attainment, retention, persistence, or completion across regional high schools. In the background, our director is working on plans to further our reach. In 2023, we submitted a recompete grant to transition from an education-only focused program to a multi-focused rural intermediary capacity building program. In summer of 2023, we were awarded a new grant for 2023 through 2026 as a rural intermediary program. Since fall of 2023, our program metrics have shifted to focus on education, economic opportunity, environmental stewardship, and healthy futures in rural and under-resourced areas of the Texas Panhandle. Now, I said rural intermediary a few times. If you're not sure what that means, AmeriCorps Rural Intermediary Programs partner with community-based organizations in rural communities. such as the ones within the Texas Panhandle. We address needs that fall within the 6 focus areas determined by AmeriCorps, the agency. The focus areas include education, economic opportunity, environmental stewardship, veterans and military families, healthy futures, and disaster preparedness and response. Here's some milestones and some things our program is proud about. In 2025, we reached our 5-year anniversary. Since we've begun, we've recruited more than 150 members, and that number continues to grow. We've partnered with dozens of nonprofits, government agencies, and educational institutions across the Texas Panhandle, and supported members in changing careers, returning to the workforce, enrolling in college for the first time, or returning to school to complete or further their education. This next section goes into the critical issues the Texas Panhandle faces and how WT AmeriCorps helps address them. The Texas Panhandle covers nearly 26,000 square miles and is slightly larger than the state of West Virginia. We have a population of over 434,000 people living here. About 70% of that population lives in the Amarillo metropolitan area. Within the Texas Panhandle's 26 counties, there are 4 micropolitan cities with populations between 10,000 and 20,000 people. 11 of these counties have populations below 5,000 people, though. If you want any of these sources as well, please feel free to reach out to us. The region was supported by 3 of FDR's New Deal programs in the 1930s. These efforts helped construct buildings in Palo Duro Canyon and improved Amarillo's infrastructure by employing residents to work on streets, curbs, gutters, within schools, within Llano Cemetery, and the Tri-State Fairgrounds. The region is considered the agricultural leader of the state, with additional industries such as non-durable goods manufacturing, government enterprises, mining, gas extraction, and utilities contributing to the region's economy. However, only 10 out of the 26 counties have over 90% broadband service coverage for their population. The remaining 16 have many individuals lacking high-speed internet for work, school, telehealth, and other needs. 14 of the 26 counties are considered economically distressed, according to the 2022-2026 Texas Panhandle Comprehensive Economic Development Survey. Again, if you would like these sources, please feel free to reach out to us. Now, what exactly counts as a rural community? Good question. While the definition of rural can vary across agencies and groups, the following are generally included in most definitions. More about what rural means from the USDA can be found at this link below, and we can send that to you as well if it's not working. To take a quick break, or if you're interested in learning more about rural communities, I encourage you to check out Social Explorer. This site shows the population of each county across the United States. It can be used to help understand population differences across the Panhandle. You could access it through the QR code below, or you can type in the link seen on this slide. There are many groups within rural communities that can be classified as underserved. Underserved groups have limited or no access to necessary resources, or are otherwise disengaged or disinvested. Examples of underserved communities are below. With that in mind, WT AmeriCorps works to address these challenges through partnerships with local governments, community-based organizations, nonprofits, and educational institutions who are already improving their communities and reaching underserved populations. By identifying which focus area this partner or new member's role will fit into, we're fulfilling our mission to augment existing systems and help build a more resilient region. This next section will help define what our focus areas are and what service for those focus areas may look like. Economic opportunity. AmeriCorps' definition means improving the economic well-being and security of individuals and communities. You can provide support and/or facilitate access to services and resources that contribute to increased economic opportunity, improved economic well-being, and economic security for individuals in rural and under-resourced neighborhoods. Examples of what service should focus on are on the right side. Healthy futures means supporting health needs within communities, public health crises, access to care, aging in place, and addressing childhood obesity, especially in underserved communities. Services and activities that provide support and/or facilitate access to services and resources, contributing to improving health outcomes in rural communities and under-resourced neighborhoods, are primarily what service should be focusing on, and more specific examples are on the right side. Our program focuses on improving educational outcomes, especially for children and youth. AmeriCorps, the agency, is particularly interested in programs that support youth engagement and service learning as strategies to achieve high educational outcomes. Examples of what service should focus on are on the right side if it falls under education. Service also can focus on environmental stewardship. That means supporting communities to become more resilient through services or activities providing support and/or facilitating access to resources contributing to responsible environmental stewardship. Service should focus on the following examples, shown on the right side of the slide. Critical issues that fall within our focus areas include employment, poverty, and housing. More about each of these issues can be seen on this slide in the bullets beneath each topic. Additional issues include water, visibility, and civic engagement. Visibility refers to the Texas Panhandle being out of sight, out of mind. Our rural area issues aren't as visible as the issues seen in urban areas. Our needs are not often seen by the state government because we're so far away from it. Another issue is civic engagement, which refers to community members not engaging in their community and often leaving it. They abandon their hometowns in need of attention and in need of community members to serve there. Another critical issue is education. Lagging educational outcomes limit opportunities and the region's economic growth. 59% of students in this region are economically disadvantaged. The percentage of homeless students here is higher than that of the entire state of Texas. 50% of students in the region are deemed at risk, and some districts have 96% of their student population considered at risk. The region has 27% of the nation's opportunity youth. Opportunity youth are considered youth who likely would have been deemed at risk in rural areas. This next section goes over how WT AmeriCorps helps to address these critical issues. The primary way WT AmeriCorps helps to address these issues is capacity building. We go over capacity building and direct service in each member's interview. A reminder of what capacity building can look like is instead of the hands-on work of volunteering, it's ensuring that volunteers are scheduled or trained or engaged for long-term success of a program or organization. More specifically, capacity building is defined as a set of activities expanding the scale, reach, efficiency, or effectiveness of programs and organizations. The activities should achieve lasting positive outcomes for the populations they serve. The capacity building our members provide should be doing two things. Our programs measure how they improve programs already existing and increase the program's efficiency, effectiveness, and reach through data collection. The intervention methods shown here for both performance measures are the same, but we use different metrics to determine how capacity building is improving and then increasing our partners' programs. Data collection and reporting is important, and it's a part of your service as a WT AmeriCorps member. Data and reporting is how organizations and programs measure performance, progress, and impact. It's a requirement of most grants, such as the ones that fund WT AmeriCorps and many of our nonprofit partners. Data and reporting needs to be accurate, timely, and complete. Without accurate and consistent data tracking, program impact cannot be measured, and our goals may not be reached without us realizing it. WT AmeriCorps cannot address these critical issues without the help of our partners and members. Community members looking to invest in their communities or get involved in something bigger than themselves are supporting community-based organizations already working to meet community needs. Civic engagement for community members investing in these organizations and data collection for our program contributes to national measurements and a pulse check on how the Texas Panhandle is doing overall. We're working together to strengthen existing programs and collaborating to create new resources, opportunities, and initiatives to improve our focus areas in the Texas Panhandle. This slide goes over just some of WT AmeriCorps' staff responsibilities. In addition to grant management, administration, compliance, data sharing, and communications, we're also supporting our partners and our members be successful during the service year, and building the capacity, effectiveness, and quality of WT AmeriCorps. For our WT AmeriCorps partners, once they've applied to become a host site, they also help provide training, orientation, supervision, professional development, and direction to their WT AmeriCorps member. They communicate with our program, report on required data, and are contributing to overall community improvements. This slide goes over your responsibilities as a WT AmeriCorps member. You should be serving through a regular presence at your service site and trying to build positive relationships with the population you serve, the service site you're assigned to, and your program staff. We ask that you complete all trainings and maintain knowledge to support success of the program and your partner site. You should be communicating with us regularly as well as your site supervisor. Complete required reports and paperwork to help us with data collection, and try to plan or participate in community service projects in developing communities of practice. We also like to acknowledge the importance of volunteers in the mission of civic engagement. Many of you started off as volunteers at your partner site and may interact with volunteers as you're serving. Volunteers contribute to AmeriCorps, the agency's mission of improving communities through national service, and are good potential AmeriCorps for us to recruit or resources for information as you're serving. This next section will go into more detail as your roles and expectations as a WT AmeriCorps member. Our number one expectation is professionalism, which covers your personal behavior, boundaries, competence in the role, communication, and personal appearance. These are the main bullets of what it means to be professional in your personal behavior. Overall, we can summarize this with asking for clear, open, and respectful communication with the program, your site supervisor, and the people you're serving with at your partner site. There is also professionalism expected in setting boundaries. Know what you can and cannot take on, and know what you are allowed to take on as a WT AmeriCorps member per your prohibited and unallowable activities. You should be professional in your communication with the people at your service site, your fellow members, and your supervisor. Be professional in electronic communication as well, knowing your grammar, how to address people, and more. You should have confidence in your role as a WT AmeriCorps member. Competence means the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. Remember that you are asked to serve in this role and join our program for a reason. We have trust in your capabilities, so prove us right, exceed our expectations, and try to get the most out of your experience. Some of you may not be as experienced in professional communication as some of your other members are. This is a reminder or a heads up that emails are more formal than text messaging. Respond as soon as you can, and try to match the language or style used by the original messenger, and be mindful of who it's going to. Remember to say sir, ma'am, respectfully when you sign off, and so on and so forth. Communicate frequently and timely. Check your email often. Read and reread messages carefully before you send them and as you're reading them. Adjust your communication based on your role and the recipient, and respond appropriately. If you miss a message, own it and correct your actions by checking messages more consistently or apologizing if needed. You should be checking your WT staff email often. That's how our program gets in touch with you to let you know about required meetings, trainings, and optional service opportunities to make up service hours. You should also be meeting regularly with your site supervisor and our member development specialist. You should check in with them at the beginning of your service and regularly throughout your service term to see what that looks like and to make sure you're on track. You'll also be submitting bi-weekly reports to document your service and so our program staff knows how things are going at your service site. We won't know everything, so please communicate any issues with us immediately to either your site supervisor or program staff if challenges or issues arise. The bi-weekly reports also help us track data and collect information on how you're doing. So please make sure to fill that out as accurately and as completely as you are able each time you submit one. Professionalism in your personal appearance means wearing your AmeriCorps service gear. You should be wearing a clean and hole-free AmeriCorps t-shirt, polo, jacket, vest, or sweatshirt, which will be provided by the program. There is also an option to collect an AmeriCorps service badge from the Buffalo Gold Card office. If you're interested in that, reach out to program staff and we will let you know how to do so. Any accessories you're wearing or other clothing should fit the culture of your service site. If you're at a more professional service site, you might be wearing slacks. If you're at a more casual service site, you can wear most likely jeans. But always check in with your site supervisor at the beginning of service to make sure you're in dress code. Your role as a member should include being present. This covers engagement, attendance, communication, commitments, initiative, activeness, and availability. It also includes responsibility. You should be responsible for your attendance at trainings and meetings and communicate if you are unable to do so. You should monitor and manage your own service hours to make sure you're on track to successfully complete your service term. You should seek assistance when needed by reaching out to program staff, such as the member development manager, to check in on things or if you're ever uncertain about where you're at in the year or need additional help. You should also be open to learning. Whether you've been serving with your partner already before you joined WT AmeriCorps or are new to service with WT AmeriCorps, take advantage of this opportunity. We want to help you succeed and grow while you're with our program. Please be willing to receive feedback and change approaches if we ask you to, and have the ability to self-inquire and take initiative to find out more information or answers on your own. You could also reach out to other members for peer support, and never be afraid to ask questions. Our minimum requirements for members during service is to communicate, learn, be present, and serve. As you're serving, it's a chance to meet other members, learn about other organizations, and to make up your service hours. It's an additional way to give back to your community, so try to participate in as many service projects as you can. However, at least 3 service projects are required during your service term unless you are a summer member. 2 of those service projects are for September 11th Remembrance Day and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day of Service. At your service site, you should be staying engaged and communicating regularly. Make sure you're submitting all your timesheets and progress reports on time, as accurately and as completely as you are able. You should also be checking your position description to see your monthly benchmark to make sure you're on track to successfully complete your service term. This next section will cover program resources and support during your service term. In this order, you should use the following resources if you ever have a question. Look through your member handbook, and if you are unable to find the answer to your question, you are also able to find our trainings and additional resources on our program's website under the Member Resources tab. From there, you can also check in with our Member Development Manager to ask her a question, ask your site supervisor, or ask another member at your service site, depending on what the question is. If you're unsure about where you're at on hours and not sure where you fall on your benchmark, you should check your position description's benchmark calendar. This is found in America Learns, and if you're unsure about where to locate it or are having difficulties, you should check in with your Member Development Manager. This is called the stage of group development for national service programs. This is a flow that people often find themselves in within nonprofit work. Just like in normal life, there are good days and bad days. There is an ebb and flow of working in this sector. The point is, it's a journey, and it's a part of professional development and personal development, whether you're doing this for personal or professional reasons. WT AmeriCorps as a whole is trying to get you to the next steps phase so you can optimally impact your community and self as you're gaining personal growth. If you would like to learn more about this resource and this chart, reach out to us and we'll send you additional resources. Final reminders are to always reach out if you're unsure about something regarding your service. As long as communication between our program and yourself remains open, the service year will run much smoother. Remember also that you are not alone in this service. You have a cohort, WT AmeriCorps staff, and your partner site here to support you and your success in your personal and professional development.